Hi and welcome to How to Write Better Melodies. How do you start your tracks? Do you begin by writing the melody, doing the chords, starting to arrange, dragging samples all over the place, doing drum recording, doing shakers, doing vocal recordings, guitar recordings? Do you do all these things in one go? Or do you zoom out and think about what's the core of your track? Ultimately, the core of a song is, of course, the melody. So without further ado, rainbow. Let's go! Okay, so how do we start writing better melodies? One good way is to start very basic. Don't do too many things at once. So you can begin by maybe just clapping or humming a rhythm. I usually do this by tapping my chest or tapping my knees. And thus we can come up with a simple rhythm for our melody. I have chosen a few chords here that I will start to write from, and that is a D major, the F sharp minor 7th, then we have the E add 9, and then we have the C sharp minor 7th. So let's begin with the rhythm over those chords. Da 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 da. Da 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 da. So let's apply a melody on top of that rhythm. Om jag ser ett löv segla ner från träden som man är förbi, med kyla som drar, krama mig hårt. Vad håller oss ute om natten? Vart seglar vårt skepp bort på vattnen? Vem vet vad det tar? Har vi något försvar? Melodin den är ju snart klar. Yeah. So what I did there is that I already started to come up with a melody to that rhythm. And what you do is first you come up with a motif, and motif is the smallest part of a theme. It's just a phrase basically, so motif in this case is, and then I do some variations on it and explore it further. So begin with a small motif and then build on that motif to create your whole theme. You begin basic and then you build up this melody so that it's more elaborate and that it's more evolved. So there's 4 steps to create better melodies. Start with the rhythm, and in this example it was something like that. And then in step 2 you use your voice to make a motif out of that rhythm that you have been hammering. And 3, you want to keep this simple because simple melodies are of course easier to remember for people, and it's also more singable. So if you're using your voice to write the melodies, it's a very good start, because then you know it's going to be singable. Number 4, we are going to expand and take that small motif and expand it and build more upon it. So that is the key factors when writing better melodies. And now let's talk about the muscle memory. Sooner or later you might run into the fact that you think that you write the same melodies and the same chord progressions all over. And that's just because of the muscle memory issue. Because if you practice an instrument a lot, your muscle nerves will react faster and faster to that physical task. It doesn't have to be actually playing an instrument, it can be any kind of task like running or whatever you're doing. But your muscle nerves will start to react faster and faster, and that task will actually become natural and you will do it unconsciously. And thus you will probably play the same chords all over again and play the same guitar licks and the same piano licks. And that's something to keep in mind, because it's very good to have some variation in your writing process. Mick Gordon, the composer of the game Doom, once said in a talk, "Change the process, change the outcome." And I think that's a very good saying, and it fits this muscle memory issue too. So what you can do is, if you're programming a lot of melodies with the mouse or just entering notes in the piano roll, you can change to playing an instrument, and that will change the outcome of your melodies, because you're not accustomed to write on an instrument maybe. Or vice versa, you can, if you're writing on piano or guitar, please change and maybe do some note editing and in the piano roll to write your melodies. Or you can use the Maschine MK3 or the Maschine Jam, because if you are writing on pads like this, the setup and the notes will be placed very differently compared to a keyboard, because then you are forced to think differently, and you will probably come up with unique melodies that you wouldn't have come up with otherwise. So that's a very good advice to really change your way of writing. Yeah, so that's basically it for this video about how to write better melodies. Tap your rhythm, add some notes to that rhythm, make a small motif, expand that motif, and make it more into a full theme. Yeah, so if you want to learn more about music production and sound design and writing melodies, you can go to my website, which is molyneuxmedia.com. If you want a consultation, you can contact me via the web form at the webpage. Okay, so what's your favorite way of coming up with exotic melodies? Do you use scales? Do you use chords? Please let me know in the comments. Please subscribe, press the bell icon for notifications, and I see you in the next video. Thanks for watching and have a really nice day. Bye bye!